There he is, this week's Red Army TV. Man of the match, Mr. Clayton there. Evening, how are you doing? It's Matt Bland sitting in for Dave Roberts this week on Red Army TV. And joining me on the couch, we've got Peter Brunton and Steve Rock. How are you doing, guys?
Smashing there, thank you very much.
Okay.
Right, we've got plenty to talk about this week, including the Preston game, so let's kick off with that. Guys, your opinion on that? Start off you, Rocky.
I've never been subordinate all my life, for a long, long time, to be honest. It's not funny. To be honest though, I'll go back before the Preston game. The result, 0-0, it was actually did us a big, big favour. It may be just the kick up the what's it that we need to say, hey, what's going on. Preston, without doubt, were 3 goals better than us on the day. But I want to go back a bit to the Forest game, because coming up from Forest when we should have had 3 or 4 goals and we lost the game 2-1, I don't think I looked up from the floor of the bus, of the Red Army travel bus, until I spoke to your cameraman about a little interview that we did. Other than that, I just looked at the floor and I was thinking, how did we lose that? How did we lose that? And then stuck in traffic coming home near the Orange Pip, I'm thinking, I'm glad I'm not a Preston fan going home, because I'd be doing exactly the same. How did we not win that? How did we not win that? So I think that 0 each, it could be just a blessing at the end of the day, particularly end of the season.
And also Preston have never won at the Riverside for 45 years. Against Borough, 45 years, I should say. Peter?
Well, they would have won, except for our goalkeeper, which made a brilliant save. They deserved to win. They were a better team. They played the better football. I didn't think we had any width. So I felt sorry for, excuse me, Asim Belongo up front on his own. He's running around looking for space and there was no one there to find him. So we were lucky
the ball
to get a point.
Forward quick enough for him, because he's making them runs across the front line. Gestead is pretty stationary. He's going to do his job when it comes down. When we get Braithwaite back, I think we'll see a totally different Borough. And we get Bamford back in the team regularly. Why the gaffer changed it, I don't know. Like I say, all those rumours about Triari being picked and still not playing, how the guys find these things out, I don't know. But I think that if we get the ball forward quicker than we're doing, instead of doing the 1, 2, 3 for the statisticians to say we've had so much possession of the ball, if that's going to raise its head again, then just get the ball forward and give the boys the ball to do their job up front. Get the game won, and then we can start passing it around and entertaining the crowd.
Excellent. Well, another guy who was giving his opinion at the match was our very own Joe Nicholson. Here's what he had to say.
Outside at the Riverside following Borough's goalless draw with Preston. Quite a disappointing performance from Borough today, I thought. Garry Monk only made 1 change from the last league game against Nottingham Forest, but he did tweak the formation. At times it looked like a 5-3-2, at times it looked like a 4-4-2 with Lewis Baker and Fabio on the wings, and it wasn't always clear what exactly everyone's role was in the side. The passing was quite slow, the intensity wasn't always up to speed, and to be honest, the best chances went to Preston, who hit the post a couple of times, a couple of good saves from Darren Randolph. Stuart Downing came on in the second half, gave everyone a little bit of a lift, but Borough couldn't find a breakthrough. I think they only managed 1 shot on target, and 0-0 it finished.
Thanks for that, Joe. Right, another talking point of the game of the weekend was the change of formation, starting off with looked like 3-5-2, and then second half was 4-3-3. Peter?
Well, I was confused, and you could see that the players looked confused as well. They didn't seem to know where they should have been, who was going where, who was going forward, who was staying in the middle. We had no width. And it wasn't really working, I don't think. And Preston were quicker to the ball every time than we were. And until he changed it again, we weren't getting forward.
Rocky, what's your opinion on that? Do you think it was a good move for Garry Monk to do?
Well, it turned out not, didn't it really? I mean, already in the first 4 games that we've seen, we know what we've seen of Baker. The lad belongs in the middle of the ground, and unfortunately I don't think we've got the legs in midfield anymore. I mean, Preston turned us so many times on Saturday, and they were so swift in midfield. They were going forward in 3s and 4s, behind the front two. And I just think we looked second best by a street on Saturday. I can't say it's the formation. A footballer's a footballer, and they should know their job. Whether one or two maybe split the dummy out because I'm not playing where I want to play, we'll never know. But why play young Baker out on the right? I don't know. Why Bamford didn't start when he's already shining so far this season is a mystery. He's definitely going to be the link man between the front two. But the first proper shot on goal was from Stewie Down in the 80th minute. That summed it up for me.
We caught up with Garry Monk after the match. Here's his thoughts.
Overall, I think we never did the basics well enough. I think, especially in that first half, where I think in any game that you play, especially in the Championship, you have to get the basics or the nuts and bolts right, and you have to come out on top of them. And we didn't. You know, Preston came out on top of us in that first half with, in terms of their aggression, their tackles, their passing, in terms of their desire to do it, was a level above ours, and that then leads to not being able to control the game.
Interesting views there from Garry Monk, but let's hear what you, the fans, had to say after the match. Here's fan rants.
I think they're very average today, completely. Yeah, you know what I mean. They just didn't. I think the wrong formation, and I think they struggled right through. You know, they were the better team, and I think best thing we could do is come away with a draw. That was a fair result.
Just shocking all round. I think the passing was awful. We just created nothing. This new formation he's put in today, again, it cancelled everything out. We couldn't play wide. It was too congested in the middle. It was all in all just an awful game.
Yeah, I must admit that today I've watched the Borough for a long time now, but today was a really, really bad game. I just cannot believe how poor they played. There was only one man in midfield, and the rest didn't operate at all. The forwards were hopeless, and the defence just didn't want to come out from the penalty area. I really don't want to say any more about it now because I'm so deflated about it.
Well, a very disheartened bunch of fans there coming out of the Preston game. Guys, what do you think how Garry Monk's doing so far with the squads?
It's early days still. I mean, we're still getting new players coming in. The players that he's brought in, they've got to bed in properly. He had a lot of work to do compared to the way we played last year. I mean, we were just a defensive team last year. We weren't even attacking, scoring goals. So, like I said, it's work in progress.
Just briefly, we'll go to return back to Joe Nicholson. He's with us with our social media.
Yes, time to look at some of your tweets after Borough's goalless draw with Preston at the weekend. We'll start with Bernie Slaven. He says, Borough 0, Preston 0, Borough second best all over the park. Disappointing afternoon. If we are going to play with width, then we need natural wingers. Andy Granville, frustrating day, didn't need to change the formation. I think we underestimated Preston North End and they did a job on us. Kevin Scott, 5 defenders and 1 defensive midfielder at home to Preston North End. Any wonder why we had 1 shot and a weak daisy cutter at that all game? Poor. Finally, Ian Smith, it's okay to be disappointed after today's game, but not to write the team off and some of the players too. Too early for such talk. Don't forget, if you want to tweet us, you can use the hashtag RedArmyTV or at Borough RedArmy.
Thanks for that, Joe. Nice keeping me seat warm doing social media there. Coming to you, Rocky, regarding Garry Monk, what's your opinion on how he's doing so far with the team?
Well, he's the guy that we wanted for the job. I'm certain of that. We can only give him time. I think the signs are excellent, to be honest. You could tell, for those that heard his interview after the game on the radio the other night, there was a venom in his voice for me. I think he was angry. He mentioned the nuts and bolts of football, and I think, again, any Sunday morning player, any Sunday morning manager will say, if you don't win a header in certain parts of the pitch, if you don't win a tackle in certain parts of the pitch, there'll be consequences. And this is what we didn't do on Saturday. I know exactly what he means. Yeah. A better team than Preston, we would have gone away with a 4-0 defeat, I think, on Saturday. As I say, I'm in danger very much of repeating myself, but we got a point and we didn't concede a goal.
Right, just to let you know that we've got coaches going to the Bolton and Villa games. They're available to book through Red Army Travel. Bolton under 18s is £16 and adults £20, and Villa match under 18s £19 and adults £23. If you want to book some seats, give us a ring, 01642 688 987. That's 688 987. You'll book some tickets there. Right, coming up in the second half, got plenty more football talk to chat with the guys. But before we go, quick question for you. What was the first club that Borough's new signing, Ryan Shotton, played for? Give the answer after the break. Welcome back. Right, before the break, I asked you the question, what was the first club that Borough's new signing, Ryan Shotton, played for? Guys, you know the answer?
I'd have to Google it.
No, we've left our phones at home, we can't cheat.
The answer indeed was Stoke City. Right, let's go and have a run-in with Sam. He's got the latest news.
After a hectic start to Borough's campaign back in the Championship, Garry Monk is determined that himself and his players will put it right.
Of course, you have to bear in mind that it's been a busy period and an intense period for the players. So there has to be some freshness side of it to it. But of course, we're going to work, and the players have the attitude towards that as well, which has been pleasing since my time's been here. And I said all along, you know, it's a work in progress.
With this week marking a break in domestic fixtures, a number of Borough men will head off to represent their countries. Darren Randolph and Cyrus Christie have been confirmed as part of the Republic of Ireland squad, and Dale Fry's received his first call-up to represent England's under-21s. Red Army are now taking coach bookings for Borough's visit to Villa Park, which takes place on the 12th of September. If you would like to book your place on the coach, please call the Red Army office on 01642 688 987. If you have any Borough news you want to share with us, please get in touch. Email news@redarmy.tv or via social media @Borough@RedArmy.
Thanks for that, Sam. Right, transfer chat. I mean, deadline's come on. Deadline is been and gone, hasn't it? 31st of August was the end of the transfer. And looking at the transfers that Middlesbrough have brought in, do you think they've been good signings?
Yeah, I think we've brought some good players in, actually.
I mean, we've got Ryan Shotton, who signed from Birmingham on a 3-year deal. Traore's not going anywhere despite other interest from clubs, and Marvin Johnson's awaiting a medical from Oxford United. Do you think, I mean, Rocky, yourself there, do you think that the signings he's got, have they made a big difference, or do you think that they've given us a bigger chance to maybe get promoted at the end of the season?
Maybe a different dimension, certainly. I mean, Shotton's a big lad. I struggle to find when we get in a corner or a free kick where we're going to punish teams from set pieces, and I think Shotton might just fit the picture there. The winger Johnson, did he play for Oxford against us in the cup game? Was it last season? Does anybody know?
I can't remember. I think it possibly. I think he did.
One of the better teams that came to the Riverside last season for me. I really enjoyed that game. I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about the guy, but we just want us to win, don't we? And the more people wearing a Borough shirt, the better. And particularly those that really, really, really want to play for the club. That's what I'm hoping for. Pete,
talking about the transfers coming in, what about the players that have gone out? Do you think we should have maybe kept all of one or two players, or do you think you're happy to see the back of them?
We let some good players go, but they didn't want to stay. I mean, Ramirez has wanted to go for quite a while. It's a shame because he was a good player.
I mean, there was rumours about him wanting to go last season, wasn't there?
Well, I think that's what started it. With he wanted to go to Leicester, then that fell through. So he didn't really give us everything. You know, he came on the pitch, but he wasn't. And then he started diving and getting yellow cards, which is a shame because I thought he was a great player. Traore is exciting. And when he comes on, you don't know what he's going to do, but when he starts dribbling and running at the defence, it's just exciting. It's brilliant. It's what football is all about. And he gets people on their feet.
Rocky, you were got a proper registration at the Supporters Club. Do you want to just tell us a bit about that?
We're holding a pop-up session on Saturday from 11 till 3 p.m, 3 a.m, I wish, at the, get this right, the Sacred Alien Comic and Borough Room, which is at Conway Wilson Street in Dundas, and Kadim Hussein has kindly offered his shop, so anybody who wants to come along and join the Supporters Club, please do so.
Brilliant, thanks very much. And speaking of the Supporters Club, we took the camera there and asked fans about how the season's going so far.
I would like to see another cover centre half and possibly a right-sided midfielder, and that's about it really, I think.
We haven't played that bad in the first 5, but I've said this after every game so this season, it's something's missing in this team, and I think it's an attacking midfielder. I think a big mistake letting Gaston go or Stuani go. Wouldn't mind that Jota from Brentford, but played alright so far this season. No bad games. Getting a bit sick to death watching them lose away, but played alright.
Interesting views there from the fans at the Supporters Club. Come back to you, Rocky. Which players have stood out for you so far then this season?
It's going to be the usual suspects. Ben, he's the lad just getting better and better. Dale Fry, without a doubt. I think we touched on this before we came in the studio. I think perhaps that Dale may be even better than Ben as he was at his age. I mean, the guy is still only 19-year-old, and he's actually filled out, even in just a year and a half, the guy's put some weight on, and he looks formidable. He's not scared of anything, and there was a couple of tackles on Saturday where he could have put the guy into the stand quite easily. That's what the lads want to see on the terraces, isn't it? But I mean, especially when the game's not going so well, at least get the boot in somewhere on somebody. Well, it's right, isn't it? Yeah? And for a change, I wasn't watching a match through a lager-coloured haze as well, which is rather infamous. It's well documented, like a couple of beers before the match, you know that. But other than that, I was sorry that Bamford wasn't playing because he's silky, he's deceptive, he's got guile, he's got an eye for a pass. Other than that, I'm afraid we touched on Traore earlier. Yes, he's exciting on the ball, but I'm afraid he doesn't know what he's going to do with it. Defender doesn't know what he's going to do with it, and certainly I don't think his teammates know what he's going to do with it. And at times I think sometimes that the only thing that's missing is a unicycle and a plate spinning, because I just don't think the guy's a footballer. I'm sorry to say it. I might divide opinions on that. But if somebody's going to get me on the edge of my seat, I want to see the end result of it as well.
Pete, what do you think's the team's strongest formation?
I thought the best team I've seen so far, formation-wise, was against Scunthorpe in the Cup. I thought they looked good, and the players seemed to know what they were doing. And why he didn't use the same players to play against Preston in the same formation, I don't know. I thought that would have worked.
Very briefly, do you think it's too early to judge how the rest of the season's going to pan out for Borough?
I think it'll only get better, to be honest. I mean, I think there was a turning point, this result. Again, we didn't lose, but I think we were seeing there, and I think Garry Monk will think that, hang on, the Preston are not going to set this division on fire, and we got a point out of it. Maybe he's questioning me. I mean, the guy's still learning. He's only a young fella, let's be honest. As long as he learns from it and puts it right on a pitch for us, I'm sure we'll follow him over the top if he gets us up, definitely.
Yourself, Peter, do you agree to that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think it's going to get better. Some of the transfers haven't really had a chance to play yet, like Braithwaite's been injured. He's going to make a big difference. We needed a bit more width, and we've just got a winger. And we've got another centre half as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
4-4-4 is the future.
Positive P.
Right, we've got a five-a-side challenge coming up with RedArmy TV in October. He's a handsome fella. Tell you more about it. Now then, RedArmy.tv are on a mission to find the best fan-based five-a-side team for our five-a-side competition taking place on the 7th of October, right here at Goals Teesside. So how do you get involved with the RedArmy.tv five-a-side challenge? Quite easily. All you have to do is pay £60 per team. That equates to £2 per person per game, and you're guaranteed at least 5 games during the tournament. There'll also be food and drink, a bar, goalkeeping supplies, TS3 sport, football challenges and trophies. Team places are limited, and there's a £20 deposit to pay to guarantee your place here on the five-a-side challenge. If you want to book a place, 01642 688 987 is the number to ring, and you've got to be aged 16 years and over to play. Again, 01642 688 987 is the number to call. Thanks very much, Matt. Right, so if you want to get involved with the five-side challenge, just ring that number there. And also we've got the Borough Travel as well. Get in touch on the same number if you want to get yourself to either of those away games at Villa and Bolton. Right, chaps, time's flown by for us. Thank you very much for joining us. And if you want any comments sent in to us, then get them in via social media at Borough Red Army. See you next time.